No lottery luck for the Chicago Bulls, which means what me and Pat have been telling y'all for a while. God ain't listening. But on today's episode, we're going to talk about the Bulls getting the number 12 pick. Who should the Bulls go best available, or should they draft a center? We'll talk about it all and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily Chicago Bulls podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every single day. That's Pat the Designer, host and creator of the Windy City Breeze and host of the Chicago Bears podcast over at ESPN 1000. I'm Haize, social creator of Chicago Bulls Central, Chicago Bears Central YouTube pages and podcasts. And thank you for making Locked On Bulls your first listen. Let's get into it. You know what's not first? The Chicago Bulls draft selection. They don't have the number 1 overall pick, which goes to the Dallas Mavericks. The Bulls stay at number 12. Pat, I don't know about you. I would have loved if the Bulls moved in the top 4. Make no mistake about it. But the thing I was hoping is that we didn't drop from 12 to 14, because that's just the way our luck has been going. How the way that the lottery shook out, I know the Mavs technically won the coin flip with the Chicago Bulls. They got the number 1 overall pick. I also think people have a misunderstanding about how the lottery works. It's not actual like ping pong. Like, they don't actually go in, they pull out your lottery ball, bam, you got the number 1 overall pick. There's a number you have to hit. They do several drawings and you have to hit a number to then get the number 1 overall pick. Then they do the same thing for number 2. It's a way more complicated thing that I think people realize. But how do you feel about the Bulls staying at number 12?
I mean, listen, I think that the arguments on the Bulls are all over the place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's really how I feel today. At the end of the day, I don't care if you're if you got the 12th overall pick, the 1st overall pick, the 5th overall pick, the 30th overall pick. Did you pick the right player? That's what I care about. Will the Chicago Bulls pick the right player? There's multiple players in the NBA playoffs right now that are about to be in conference finals that are being led by dudes not taken with the number 1 overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
Paul George wasn't taken with the number 1 overall pick. Pretty good player. Yeah. Klay Thompson. Donovan Mitchell.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Giannis. Bam. For every player that's great that you can sit there and be like, oh, he was taking top 5. I can give you an entire list of players taking 10 through 20. Heck, some of these mugs taking 30. Jalen Brunson was the 33rd pick in the draft. It's about getting it right.
Yeah.
And so today, listen, yes, does it suck that you didn't get the number 1 overall pick? Yeah. You know why? Because we don't trust AK. It made AK's job easy. That's what we were hoping for. Make AK's job easy. Cooper Flagg's a layup. If you're 2, Asa Newell's a layup. You know what I mean? Like, that's really what it is. Make AK's job easy. You don't get it. Now you got to do some work. Now you got to go out there and figure out who's a good player. That's how I feel about getting the number 12 overall pick. You're still sitting 12. This is a draft that I just talked about yesterday. I said I believe you'll be able to find really, really good talent. I'm not going to say elite, but really good talent all the way down to 22. I think you're still getting star potential talent at 12 right now. One of the mock drafts on Tankathon has the Bulls getting Derik Queen. If the Bulls come out of this draft with Derik Queen, I'm flipping a table.
Now you got to clarify that in excitement, because you flipped tables in being upset before.
Either way,
I'm just saying. Like, as somebody who knows you very well, you got to add a little bit of clarity on it.
I'm flipping a table in excitement. No, but it's you know, like there's a lot of good pieces that can still come out of this, and not to say that they're going to be better than Cooper Flagg, not to say they're going to be more generational than Cooper Flagg. I don't know what Cooper Flagg is going to be at the NBA level. I don't know what any of these guys are going to be at the NBA level. It feels like he's going to be that guy, but we felt like guys were going to be that guy before, and then we were sitting. I remember feeling 110% like Anthony Bennett is going to be one of the greatest NBA players we've ever seen. He can do everything. And then Anthony Bennett got to the NBA, and Anthony Bennett couldn't dribble a basketball. So when it comes to how I feel about getting the 12th overall pick, get the right pick. Now, as far as the lottery goes, as far as the draft goes, as far as how all of that breaks out, it's odds, dog. The draft is probabilistic. It's not deterministic.
That's a great point. It's all about possibility and probability, right? Like, depending on how you want to look at it. Like, there are, of course, players that are more probable to turn out to be really good, but there's always a possibility late in this draft as well. You got to scout. And this is the thing that we've always said, too. Like, hey, getting the number 1 overall pick is hard and it's rare. So just about every other pick, now 1 through 3, 1 through 4 are pretty sure things in this draft. I get that. I understand that. But there's so much variance when it comes down to anything basically after whatever's labeled as your sure things in the draft that you have to scout well. You have to make good decisions. That's the thing that I'm more concerned about, right? Even if the Bulls would have gotten number 4 in this draft, I would have been concerned, are they going to pick the right guy? Because we don't necessarily always scout and do those type of things the best. So,
yeah, and listen, I think that the thing for me too, right? Like, the think pieces that have come out about this on the, if Josh Giddey misses that 3, the Bulls get this. But these are the same people screaming the NBA's rigged. Well, if the NBA's rigged and they're giving first overall picks to teams that are giving up good players like Luka Doncic, and so they want to make things right by giving them the right player, don't matter where the Bulls are at. If the NBA's rigged.
That's true.
Now, if the NBA's not rigged, then the Bulls did just about everything that they could, literally the same as the Dallas Mavericks. We're in the exact same position as some dude going flip, clink, Dallas, you're the 11th seed. A 0.1% chance. A 50-50 flip for a 0.1% chance is what changed it. Not how the Bulls perform this season. Not the Bulls outright winning or losing this season. Not it's I think people, even right in your scenario, Haize, where you're like, it's not ping pong balls anymore. It's still gotta, as you run this thing, it's still gotta come out with whatever it is, and the Bulls have to fit into that. It's not just the slot.
Exactly. It's not that, you were 11th. That means you got the number 1 pick. That's not how it worked in this case. I think people think that that's how it worked out, and it's like, it's not it. That's not it. Like, I get it. I understand people being upset. Never going to take away from people's ability to be upset or whatever it is. But, like, I think people also have to put things into perspective. Like, it is what it is. Like, if you told most people coming into this, the Bulls would be able to walk away with their center of the future, people would be like, all right, cool. Like, they're going to be like, and the Bulls still have a chance to do that. They still have a chance to walk away with a 8-9-year center that's going to be a starter here. Now, are they going to do it? Are they going to make that right evaluation? We'll see, but they still have that great chance. Like you said, if you get Derik, there's some fit concerns, but if you're talking about just the talent of Derik Queen, if you told me that with the way the season and you're going to add Derik Queen to this team, cool, let's go.
I'm in a great spot. And by the way, I love that Bulls fans think that we're the ones getting screwed here.
Mm-hmm.
The Spurs literally gave up 2.
Yeah.
Philly literally gave up 3. Utah gave up the season.
At
5.
the beginning of the season.
This is now 2 years in a row where the 10th and or 11th seed, whatever it is, has gotten the number 1 overall pick. As much as it sucks, it does pay to be competitive in this NBA, clearly based off how the last couple of years have gone.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Like, it's one of those things where I think the big thing, and I said it earlier, like, the big thing this all comes down to is going out there and getting the best talent that's available to you at 12. And you know what? Last season, when we were looking at the draft and Matas Buzelis came down, everybody went, who? Because you weren't paying attention to actual names that were in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
We were ecstatic when we got Matas. We were like, I can't believe Matas fell to 11. If he gets a jump shot, he's going to be one of the better players in this draft. Guess what? He's one of the best freaking rookies out there outside of Stephon Castle. He's better than 1, 2, and 3. Well, Stephon Castle was 3, right? Was he 2? No, he's 3.
It was 3, I think. Yeah,
because it was Sar, the other one, and then Stephon Castle. But
listen,
that's what it comes down to me.
It just comes down, like the Bulls are going to pick 12th. It is what it is. Use this time to get all your angst and sorrow out of the fact that the Bulls aren't going to, they didn't get the number 1 overall pick or in the top 4. And then once you come out on the other side of that, and this is what me and Pat's job is here, it's okay to realize the Bulls still got a chance to get a heck of a player in this draft. A heck of a player in this draft.
I'll tell you right now, and it's best case scenario, but you come out of, I mean, like all the way down. Now, don't come out of it with KJ. You come out of it with KJ, I'm gonna be pissed out of Illinois. I don't want a Yakachonis on my team. But you find a way to get Asa Newell. You find a way to get Derik Queen. You find a way to get, hey, I'll throw a Thomas Sorber in there.
Yeah. All those guys.
Those
really
are all
good, really
pieces that you look at and go, now, again, in the real conversation, and we'll talk about this coming up here, but like it's all about how it fits with the team.
Yeah, big fact.
And if you have Matas as a superstar or a star, I guess, and you can't be a superstar till you win, moving into next season.
And we'll see. We shall see. But next up, we're going to be talking about, should the Bulls go best player available? Should they go center? Or could that be the same thing, depending on where the Bulls pick? We'll talk about all that, but first we got to get into a message from Hunger Root. See, I didn't do nothing this time, and you ain't got my back, Pat. You ain't got my back.
I effed it up.
Everyone in my house always has something going on. I call this busy season. I don't have a lot of time to go grocery shopping or to cook healthy meals at home. That's why I use Hunger Root. Hunger Root is like having your own personal shopper and nutritionist wrapped into one. They take care of the grocery shopping and meal planning, offering personalized recommendations based on your taste and health goals. I love how Hunger Root tailors my orders based on what I liked or didn't love. It gets smarter every time. With their high-quality nutritionist food, you can stick to your gut-friendly, high-protein diet without spending hours planning. The meals come together in 15 minutes or less, giving you more time for workouts, hobbies, or more. Take advantage of this exclusive deal. Get 40% off your first box plus a free item in every box for life. Go to hungerroot.com/LockedOnNBA and use code LockedOnNBA. That's hungerroot.com/LockedOnNBA, code LockedOnNBA. 40% off a lifetime and a lifetime free item. Also got to talk to you guys about Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending all in one place, so you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. When I started using Monarch, I realized just how much I was spending on merch. Now I budget smarter and save more, and I still get my merch. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. Managing money with your partner is smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, stay on the same page without the stress. Take control over your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONNBA for half off your first year. More Locked On Bulls coming up next. Drop the ball on me, Pat.
I picked it back up.
You picked it back up. With that said, so there's now a common thought. Of course, there's going to be tons of centers available options there. But there are also some power forwards and small forwards that could fit next to Matas Buzelis if that's the route that you decide to go. Pat, we know that talent is the overarching thing here. Do you think the Bulls should go best player available, or should they just go best center available? Or do you think the best player available could also end up being a center and then we don't have to worry about it?
Listen, build your team for the team that you have. Now, I do think you have to go BPA. The NBA is not the NFL where it is a wild or you can just go right, oh, I'm going to go with the best player at this position, but maybe he's not the best player on the board there. The best player on the board in the NBA will end up helping you win immensely more than the best player at a position, but it also depends on. Just ask the Portland Trailblazers about that. Every time they do it's bad every time. Michael Jordan, but we got Clyde. Michael Jordan.
Yep.
And they do Kevin Durant. Well, we already got a shooter in Brandon Roy.
Bro,
already got a shooter in Brandon Roy. Yeah, but we need that big man. But
well,
Kevin Durant.
Granted, if Greg Oden would have been able to stay,
Greg Oden was amazing. Greg Oden
would have been able.
I'm
to
not
stay
gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not as bad of a pick because Greg Oden actually was amazing, but it is hilarious that it just kept playing out that way. They did give us Tyrese Thomas though, bastards. I think here's the thing. Go with the best player available. What scares me about best player available with AK is that his best player available oftentimes is based on the potential of somebody being the best player available, and not a good table flip. If we draft Carter Bryant, I will flip a table.
No, for me, the player that I'll say is Colin Murray Boyles. I'm telling y'all right now, Colin Murray Boyles is going to be either out of the league or back into the bench player within 4 years.
But see, I can deal with that because at least Colin Murray Boyles was a 20-point per game player.
Oh, so you're saying that you could at least deal with taking the risk?
I can understand what you saw to say, hey, this dude might be this next level player. Carter Bryant is like a 6-point per game player, and it's based off of the potential of him being defensive and shooting threes. That don't work for us here in Chicago. We've done that too many times. No one's reached the potential. We don't have a player development coach.
We do have a player development coach. We just don't have Peter Patton.
I said what I said.
CMB also averaged only 17 points, but yeah, go ahead.
Did he? I got him right here. Sophomore year, 19.8 points per game, 9.7 rebounds, 2.8
Somebody typed that wrong. His sophomore year, 16.8 points per game on 58% shooting from the field and 26% shooting from three.
Hey, somebody got them numbers wrong.
Unless you're just looking at, are you looking at of tournament numbers maybe?
No.
Colin Murray Boyles. Where are you looking at? Do you have him as a 19-point per game score?
Tankathon.
Oh, well, yeah, Tankathon's tripping on that. I don't know where they're getting those numbers from.
Unless I'm tripping, like, it is what it is. Like, either way, I can at least see.
Oh, those are per 36 minutes.
Oh, are they? Oh, that's gross. You know, I hate a per 36. That's terrible.
You got to change it to per game at the top. I was about to say, what is Pat looking at?
Are they really? Oh, they are per. Oh, that's terrible. First off, his per 36 numbers aren't better. Like, his per 36 numbers, he made a 3.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why me and Pat hate per 36.
Oh my God, bro. No, I hate per 36 usually because it lies about who the player is. Because remember, what's his name? Felicio's per 36 numbers. Well, oh, this dude's gonna be amazing. He's gonna be
per 36
point per
Felicio
game player.
Per 36 Felicio was crazy,
bro. Colin Murray Boyles, literally, his per 36 numbers was like, he probably is who he is. But no, man, listen, at the end of the day, I do think that big man is a focus that the Bulls need to have, but you also have to know what you have on this team. And that's really what it comes down to. You don't want to take shots away from Matas at this point if you feel like he's developing into that kind of player. There's a bunch of players that fit the mold of what the Bulls need to go out there and find. Like, I think that the big man conversation, you wouldn't feel like you missed on any of the big men that really are at that rate. If you added Thomas Sorber, if you added Danny Wolf is a little high. Danny Wolf probably, he a little bit later in the draft. But if you looked at his game and you evaluated his game, and he was like, no, this kid fits perfectly and will get us to the next step or the next level. Like, that's something that you can't overlook. And I wouldn't be mad at seeing the Bulls do in this draft, because it is, we did leave last season feeling like Giddey and Matas might actually be something.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And like I said, I'm never going to be mad at going the best player available if it ends up working out. The problem is that it doesn't always end up working it out, right?
Yeah.
Like, so if you're going to go best player available, which you can sell me on that, regardless of the position. But okay, then like that player better start looking something like that by the end of year one. I better start seeing some of those flashes, right? And it's still, and even then, you can't go best, because like you said, what AK's used best player available is, hey, this guy averages 4 points, but they have the potential to turn into a great 3-and-D player. No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's not what I want to see.
Hey,
but if you try to tell me, like, I'm trying to think of a player. Like, I mean, Rasheer Fleming could still very, very much so be a center. But if you try to tell me, hey, we see Rasheer Fleming as being this hybrid between like Draymond Green and Taj Gibson on the team, okay, cool. Let me see it.
Yeah. And I don't think you're in a position where you could take somebody who didn't show it in college. Right? That's always Zach LaVine didn't show it in college, but he ended up being a great scorer in the NBA. Devin Booker didn't show it in college. He's a great scorer in the NBA, right?
There's something funny.
What?
I'm sorry. I know this has nothing to do with what you're talking about. Per 36 for his career, Cristiano Felicio, 16 points per game, 2 blocks, a steal, 15 rebounds, 56% shooting from the. I wish we got a fraction of that. Well, we did get a fraction. That's the problem.
Bro. It might be worst contract in NBA history, bro. might be worst contract in NBA history.
And they looked at his per 36 and was like, that's our center of the future.
Now, I will ask this as we keep this going and get into the next. Actually, we'll take this into the next topic. It does go into the center conversation, but when talking about who to take at 10, is there some international eyes that on some players that are out there? You got some international?
Not for this. Not if we're trying to add to this team now, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that coming up next. But first, we got to tell you guys all about our sponsors over at FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are in full. You dropped the ball just like I did. Dang it.
Absolutely did. My bad.
Are in full swing. It was a bad day. We got to work on it. Both of us were off on that one. And every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't miss moments, whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player. There's never been a better time to get in on the action. I mean, these playoffs have been absolutely amazing to start, and FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live with player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays. Fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. Which players are showing up in the biggest moments, and how could tracking their trends help you build your next bet? What would it look like to combine live prop bets mid-game and how the action unfolds? How could a $200 bonus bet add to the excitement in the first $5 if the first $5 bet hits? Now, if you're new to FanDuel, that's exactly what you can find out. It's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If that bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. More Locked On Bulls coming up next.
You know how karma immediately hits you? You know how that happens?
You didn't even have me on the finish. That crap.
And bro, it was funny
on the finish.
Because you were halfway through it and I was like, oh crap. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. So you asked about international centers before we got out of that last one. And here's the thing. I see a lot of people bringing up Rocco, however you say his name. And this is the thing that I start seeing the group think start. Like somebody says something that he sucks. Yeah. He's bad offensively. He's bad defensively. His shot blocking isn't good. He's bad on ball defense. He's bad on off ball. Now, if you want to draft him in the second round and say this guy has a lot of raw things, fine. Okay, cool. Most second round picks don't work out. But people are bringing up like Roku or Reynaud, and they think, oh, well, we can draft these guys and they could be our center right now. You're stupid. And listen, I want everybody to be understanding in this. I'm back to being mean. I'm no longer being nice. I said it on Twitter. I'm saying it now so everybody can know it. I'm no longer being nice to stupidness. Anybody who's sitting there acting like rogue. Now, if you're saying, again, this isn't for people just saying the Bulls should take a shot on them in the second round. But there are people that have let that group think spiral into thinking, oh, well, the Bulls can go wing in the draft in the first round. We can draft Rocco and we're good in the second. He's not good at any. There's no marketable NBA skill there at all. And don't get me started on the Jokic comparison. Jokic showed something. The problem is that they looked at Jokic as like, hey, he's going to be a little bit slow in the NBA.
Jokic is fat.
Yeah. But there were still some NBA skills there. Rocco, however you say his name, he has no. When you look at him, he looks like an elk that just got their legs. He's not a good NBA player. He's not a good basketball player at all. There's nothing good about him at all. He's bad. He's not good.
He looks like an elk that just got his legs. That's to be one of the best lines I've heard.
I'm sorry, bro. For the last 12 hours,
bro. You called him Bambi.
12 hours, I've been hearing well, it's cool. We're good. We're just going to get Rocco. Shut up.
Is he even a first-round pick?
No.
I don't even think he's slated to be a first-round pick.
No.
Hey, that's my favorite part. I wasn't even talking about him. I was talking about Behringer.
I can get with that.
I was talking about Behringer. I was like, if you're going to my whole point was, if you're going to take a chance on somebody who's the 5 point per game, four rebound, one block guy, I would rather take a chance on Joan Berenger, who's international. He's from France. I believe he played in Croatia last season. But just the actual, like, I guess that is the per 36, but like his true shooting percentages, stuff like that, his advanced stats are ridiculous. I would rather see you go with a player like that. Who's bringing up Rocco?
Bro, they've been bringing him up in the chat. They've been bringing him up online. Everybody's been bringing this dude up. He sucks. I've never been so disappointed. People are like, hey, Haize, you got to go check out this dude's tape. He's young. He's 18. He's international. All this. I'm like, oh, cool. Maybe we can find a diamond in the rough. I looked at this guy. His feet, he got 2 left feet. He doesn't rebound well. He's not strong. He doesn't move fast. I don't know what anybody sees in him. He's bad at everything.
Hey, bro. You got to stop letting people get to you like that, bro.
I'm not letting people get to me.
He's not even. I can't even find him on a mock draft.
That's what I'm saying. It's bad, bro. It's bad. This is when I start hating people.
I was not expecting him to snap off like that.
I'm sorry, man. That's been building up. It's been building up for a while, man. I'm not even gonna lie.
I had a whole different player. I was like, he said Rocco. I'm like, who? I didn't even seen this dude.
Man.
I was talking about Berenger.
And I like the Berenger thing. I want to be clear there.
Oh, God. Oh, well, we drafted Thomas Sorber. That settles it right there. That's what that is. A draft.
Man, bro.
No, man, but even a dude, let me ask you this. Would you be more intrigued, right? We know the center position is one that the Bulls are need to improve at, but you got to replace Patrick Williams with something. Maybe you can replace him with a center that could do a little bit of both, or maybe Matas does that. Mm-hmm. I think you need to go out there and get yourself a true power forward. And Sorber does intrigue me from that sense. I think that'll help you with the center position. You can get a center that does something specific if you have a power forward that's
well-rounded. Absolutely.
And so, like, at that right now, I know Sorber's farther down on the mock draft, so people look at numbers and lock in on stuff like that.
I hope that he goes up in combines, because Sorber, to me, looking at him play and looking at his numbers, baller, I don't understand why some mocks have him as low as 20.
I actually will bet you by the time we get to the draft, he is slated to the Bulls.
Oh, facts. Don't forget, this time last year, remember we talked about it, Zach Edey was slated to be a second-round pick.
Yeah, literally. He was a second-round pick. I was telling you. I was like, this boy going to go higher in the second round. I'm telling you.
Credit
like, I don't know, bro.
I was like, he's going to go in the second round. You're like.
That was the only moment where Haize was like, you got to stop looking at them ESPN mocks, bro. I'm like, bro, he's I can see him. Like, somebody's going to take a chance on 7'3", 450 or whatever he is. Like,
for sure.
Hey, they shouldn't have. But shout out to Zach Edey for getting me that steak.
Hey, shout out to Zach. Shout out to Zach Edey for actually being, like, he looks like an NBA player. It's just you have to play a very specific way. He's going to be unplayable in some playoff series, but it is what
listen, they just don't want players that can play in the fourth quarter.
How you going to have a whole team full of non-fourth quarter players except Ja and Desmond Bane?
Bro, that's literally what it is.
Like,
bro, both your bigs can't play in the fourth quarter of games because they gonna foul out.
And the funny thing is, Jaren Jackson Jr. should be able to play in fourth quarters, but he can't stop fouling to save his life.
Bro, it amazes me that he's in DPOY conversations every year. Must be like, look at how many shots he blocks. I'm like, look at how many fouls he gets.
Yeah.
Like, he should not be in DPOY conversations and he can't finish games. Must be looking at his minutes, be like, well, he don't get enough minutes because he can't stay in the game. Anyway, but no, man, we'll see who the Bulls take at 12. If you had to predict right now on today, who do you think the Bulls take at 12?
I honestly think if Derik Queen falls, you take Queen, no questions asked. Yep. Whether the fit, all of that, don't worry about that. I think you take the motor and you bet on that. But realistically, because I don't think Derik Queen is going to make it past 8. I honestly think Thomas Sorber, bro. Thomas Sorber, Asa Newell are the two guys, if we're talking about centers and positions of need, and Rasheer Fleming. Listen, I'd be happy. Forget the position, because like you said, whether he's a power forward or a center, He's the type of player that no matter what his position ends up being, his ability to stretch the ball, shoot the three, his defensive ability, the blocking, shot blocking, it makes you have flexibility in what you can focus on a specialist at either other position. I think so. Rasheer Fleming, Thomas Sorber, Asa Newell is my top three right now.
Yeah, I would say Sorber is my number one. It's just something about the Bulls. I see a Liam McNeely being in the mix for them. It's just something about this. I see it. I know it, but I see it. And I think Sorber and Wolf both climb the draft rankings.
Oh yeah, Danny Wolf
as teams start to work them out.
Danny Wolf is going to be right outside the lottery if a team that needs a center. Like I could see a team actually saying, "Hey, listen, it may be a little bit of a reach, but we're gonna go ahead and take him." Like I can see the Atlanta Hawks taking him at 13.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, easily. They need something.
Yeah,
they need something. Oh well, actually, they need a wing though. If we don't take them, which we might take them, I think they might take Murray. CMB.
They could, but
I think they might take CMB.
Yeah, they could.
It's not like they know how to draft.
They got Jalen Johnson though, and Dyson Daniels.
Oh, that's true, actually. Yeah, that's true. I get it. I don't know. We'll see. I don't care about the Hawks. They can take Yakachonis for all I care. Hey man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. That'll make me sick, bro. If we take Yakachonis,
bro. No, what pisses me off is what ESPN has us taking Igor Dimon.
That don't piss me off.
So
I don't make
you
me
want
happy.
You want two Josh Giddeys on the team?
It does. I was gonna say it doesn't excite me, but it doesn't piss me off. Well, the thing is, right? I think Igor brings you that wing versatility where Josh is 110% a point guard.
See, I think Igor's inability to shoot the three is probably going to force him to be a point guard too. But I guess we can see.
And we'll see. They're going to make Josh Giddey a wing. Start firing that three ball up. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to them. They just going to keep passing it back and forth to each other. You shoot it. Now you shoot it. Now you shoot it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls. You follow me on everything at Pat The Designer. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love.
You guys can follow me at CEO Haize. Thank you for making Locked On Bulls your first listen today. For your second listen, go and check out Locked On NBA Game Night. Every game, every night until the NBA champion is crowned. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find NBA Game Night on Locked On NBA on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. For Pat The Designer, this has been Locked On Bulls. We out of here. Peace, y'all.
Peace. Brazil popular said Morocco, though.
Man.
The Rocco rant was so unexpected.
Bro. Could you hear the frustration in my
voice? Yes.